Hi, it's Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to Career Coach Office Hours. Tuesdays at noon Eastern, I like to spend a little bit of time answering your questions about job search because I believe it doesn't have to be as hard, difficult, painful, or take as long as it does. It's just the skills needed to find a job are different from those needed to do a job. That's really it. There's just a lot that goes into job hunting that most of you don't know. And thus, what I try to do is provide a venue where you can ask me questions, get some advice. Maybe you hire me for coaching. You can do that in a variety of different ways. And I'll just simply say, people need help. It's one of the reasons why, and this offer expires February 1st at midnight of 2025. So that bridge between the 31st and the 1st of 31st of January and the 1st of February, it comes to an end where I'm giving away a free insider membership at jobsearch.community. Go to the site. I've got free stuff on the homepage. I want to be clear about that. Download that, use that, have a great time with it. But to get access to all of my video courses, books, and guides, I'm giving away free insider membership. And all you have to do is scroll down, click on the Become an Insider button. Once you get in there, you'll see 6 levels of service. The one I'm giving away for free is Insider. You have access to my content. I'm not doing Q&A with people. You can schedule a coaching session for that at my variety of different ways. But I'll just simply say, I saw at the beginning of the year that there were a lot of people who had lost their jobs, and I decided to give this away for the month of January. So you'll have a membership beyond January 31st, but I'm providing this for free as in an effort to help. So again, jobsearch.community is the place to go. Scroll down, click on Become an Insider, choose the Insider membership, and then at checkout, enter the coupon code, and this is in capitals, Insider Free, all one word, Insider Free, and you'll get access to all my content there. I've got a new book coming out very soon for recent grads from college, and I'll announce that at the time, but I've got a lot of great stuff available to help you with your job search. So go to the site, become an insider. If you want to talk with me about Q&A for your job search, you can schedule a half hour with me. You can schedule an hour with me. You can do that again at jobsearch.community. I'm going to charge you for it, but it's better than trying to figure it out because most of you are amateurs around job search. Okay. Now, before I start off, I just want to simply start off by talking with you about my insider tip for the week. And that is about how to construct an elevator pitch. Now, I used to hate elevator pitches. I thought they were, as I've said many times, I wanted to take a shower after listening to one or saying one. So what I've chosen to do instead is come up with a framework. And actually, I learned this from someone, and so I'm not going to claim credit for it, but it's really very succinct and very effective. People hire me to fill in the blank because I fill in the blank. And thus what you're able to do is provide a succinct definition of you and your expertise that's accurate. In my case, it's people hire me for no BS job search coaching and career advice globally because I make job hunting and succeeding in your new role much easier. Accurate. I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't feel like I need to take a shower after saying it. And I give people a clear idea of what I do for a living. So I just want to simply offer that to you. I've got a video on the jobsearch.community. It's free. If you pick up on this and you want to watch it again, by all means, download it, enjoy it, use it, practice it so it becomes second nature for you, okay? So if you've got a question about your job search, you can put it into chat so I can answer it live. Also, I want to encourage you, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Mention that you saw this. I like knowing I'm helping some folks. Once we're connected, my network becomes yours, yours becomes mine. My network tends to be a lot larger than most people's because I was like LinkedIn member 7653. So it just gives you a lot of information. You get access to a lot of people you might not have had otherwise. Plus, and this is the bonus part to this, you won't have to spend in-mails reaching out to those people. I don't remember the number currently. I know I'm over the max of 30,000 that LinkedIn limits you to. So again, connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. So I received a number of questions in advance of the show. Please don't be shy. Please feel free to put them into chat so I can answer your questions. But this first question is one I received in advance of the show. I'm planning to quit my job, and my boss said to hold off quitting until we can at least hire someone. Otherwise, he said, I'll make things very, very bad for you. How should I respond to this? I've got a fun way to do it, which is, how much worse can you have made it for me that I'm going to want to quit? Are you going to give a bad reference? If so, I'm going to sue you. The reality is you're entitled to leave your job. It's not like they can hold you. You're going to make things bad for me? Bad reference? It's not true. I just won't give out your name as a reference. I'll provide other people as references who can attest to what a lunatic you are. So the long and the short of it is, leave for your new job. Now, if you want to politely respond, instead of how much worse can you make it for me that I'd want to quit, and then shut up and listen to him threaten you with a bad reference or anything else he's going to do or she's going to do, just listen and then respond and say, my last day of employment is going to be such and such. And I'm going to meet with HR and tell them about the threat that you made. Now, if they're the owner of the business, it's different. You might put something on their Yelp page about the threat that they made. You might put it on their Google page, on Google Maps, about what their behavior was like. Because you have opportunities to respond too. You can comment on their LinkedIn profile if they're a firm that's large enough to have one. Excuse me. But the long and the short of it is, look, I don't want to get into a war with you. I'm leaving on such and such date. You have ample time to find someone to replace me. If it takes longer, please understand, I've given you the courtesy of 2 weeks' notice. If you want me to walk out the door today, I'll walk out the door today and start my new job. Choice is yours. You're going to make my life miserable? Obviously, there are ways I can respond in kind, and I don't want to do that. Don't do what you're threatening to. I'm going to call HR, meet with them, tell them about the threats, and stop it. Okay? Stop it. And that's the way to respond. Now, let's go on to the next question, which is, this was a cute one. And it is, what is a slap in the face job offer? They'll be on the screen in a second. What is a slap in the face job offer? It's a job offer that's insulting. It's one that basically says, we don't really care if you join us or not. We're going to make you an offer. You have two choices. Leave it or take it. Either one is fine with us. We prefer you take this miserable offer, but I'll give you an example. You told them you're looking for $100,000 a year and they offer you 75. That's pretty much a slap in the face, isn't it? It's an insulting offer, one that they know you won't take. And thus, to me, that's the example of a slap in the face job offer for you. Okay, let's continue on. Here we go. If I'm looking to find a job at a big law firm, is it a waste of time going to a law school ranked 80th or 90th. You've defined the law firm by its size. We're not talking, you haven't defined it by its prestige. Now, I would say it's okay to go to such a school, but because it's better than not going to law school and winding up at a paralegal job. But, the fact is, the prestigious law firms like people from pedigree schools. And the fact that you're asking this question means you know that answer. So the reality is you're better off if you can go to a higher ranked school because it carries the credential of having graduated from that school. And that's going to benefit you not just simply with your first job, but for every job after that. So that's what you want to go for, the best school that you qualify for, rather than the one that's the C school that no one really cares about, has ever heard about, et cetera, because your choices become limited. Now, the limitations may be you go into private practice for yourself, and that's okay. That's a certain career path. And I have to tell you, big law firms are not necessarily the best places to go to work. They have turnover. They're cutting back on associates and partners. It's not necessarily the golden goose that you may think it is, but you'll land someplace. And if you want to go to one of the prestige law firms, you have to graduate from a prestige school. That's the fact of it. Okay. Let's go to another question that was sent to me. What does send your application and detailed CV mean? I'm sorry for laughing. I know you're asking a sincere question. It really means exactly what it says. Send your resume and CV to us. Now, my guess is you were in a conversation with them and they don't want to talk to you until they know whether you're worth talking to. So what they're basically saying is, look, nice conversation. They want to get you off the phone. Send us a CV and complete the application, and we'll be in touch if we're interested. I suspect that's what's really going on. So long and the short of it is they want to get rid of you. They want to evaluate you and your credentials. They don't want to hear you. They want to read what you've done, what your successes are. They want to get to know you professionally from having read your resume, and then they're willing to have the conversation with you. Okay? Oh, this was a fun question. Sorry, I got to scroll there. There it is. My employer did not renew my annual contract and did not indicate any clear reason why after being with them for 6 years. Could I apply and get another job with the same company 8 years later? Absolutely. Now, the question comes down to, did they let you go for performance reason, or did they not need you anymore? And this is a question of their contract with you just expired, not for performance reasons, but for financial reasons. If you have bad data in their systems, which you probably don't, because they've probably purged this from years ago, because after all, it's 8 years later, the probability is if you have skills that would make you qualified to work for them, then they would be interested in speaking with you. So yes, if there are people there who know you and your work still, contact them and say, look, I saw a position opened up for such and such. I'd be interested in coming back on a staff basis. Would you refer me? And I mention that for the simple reason that getting a recommendation from someone who knows your work and knows the quality of your work, it helps you cut the line to get more to the front, so that in this way, you're not an absolute stranger competing with all the other people who've submitted a resume or submitted an application to them. They're getting a recommendation from someone internal at the firm who will attest to the fact that you do good work and you're capable. Now, they know you from 8 years ago. So the nature of the work you've done has obviously changed since then, right? So you need to brief them about what you've been doing since, so that they're comfortable speaking with people at this firm and referring you. Okay. Now, I'll just mention again, if you've got a question for me, put it into chat so I can answer it live. Also, at jobsearch.community, there we go, at jobsearch.community, I'm giving away insider membership for free. And thus, if you go to the site, yes, I've got free stuff on the homepage, but scroll down, you'll see an option that says Become an Insider. What you'll get is access to all my video courses, books, and guides available on the site. And you'll see a list of them on that homepage, just so you know. And I'm going to be adding another one in the next day or so. And I'm releasing a new book on Amazon in the next week. In all probability, you'll have access to all my content for free. And if you want me to coach you, if you have questions about your job search, you can purchase one of the other options there for a 30-minute conversation, a 60-minute conversation, or more in-depth coaching with me, whatever you want. But for now, just take advantage of the content. I'm giving it away for free at, there it is, one more time, jobsearch.community. Click Become an Insider, the Insider option, and at checkout, enter the coupon code Insider Free, all one word, all caps, and you'll get access to all that stuff, okay? The offer expires midnight on the 31st. So at the witching hour between January 31st, 2025 and February 1st, 2025, the offer is gone, okay? So I've got more questions that were sent to me in advance. And let's see now, okay? What is your number one greatest challenge when going to a job interview? So let me start by saying, for me, I'm not interviewing, but I've worked with enough people to understand what it's like to interview. One challenge right away is you may think you've seen a job description and think you know what the job is. But job descriptions evolve over the course of time. So you may think you know what the job is from having read the job description, but they may have interviewed 25 people. The position in their thinking has evolved, and you're aiming at the wrong target. So that's challenge number one, is understanding what it is they're looking for today. Because often job descriptions are generated out of a database for the identical position. It's been institutionally approved. I'll use an example. We have they call up their talent acquisition partner. They say, a position opened up in my group for a software developer. You got that job we used to hire Jeff? Maybe you could post it on the website, put it up on LinkedIn, send it to our recruiting resources, and see if you can get onto my calendar on Tuesday. And they haven't updated it, but they know it's been approved, and thus what they're able to do is get it to market quickly without doing any effort. And their thinking about the job may have changed. It's probably changed based upon events that have occurred over the last however many years it's been since that job was previously approved. So understanding what the job is today is probably challenge number one for most of you. And at jobsearch.community, one video you want to watch, and you can even, I have a copy of the book based upon this. The video course is called The Ultimate Job Interview Framework. I've got a book by the same name. If you don't want to join my website, you can buy it on Amazon or rent it on Amazon. And it's a Kindle book there, a paperback, an audio book. You can get it there using your Kindle Unlimited membership, or at jobsearch.community, you can become an insider and get access to it. I teach you the single best question to ask on any interview, so that, and when to ask it, so that in this way you understand what the job is that they're really trying to fill. Okay. And let's see now. I've got more questions that were sent to me. And I just want to say, I do this for about 30 minutes on Tuesdays at noon Eastern. So if today isn't your day where you want to speak, if you're just shy, and that's okay. A lot of people have been shy and have sent me questions in advance, or they just couldn't be here to do it. So come back another time, ask questions. My feelings aren't hurt. Okay. Is it necessary to include leadership experience in a job application? If so, what is the best way to showcase it on a resume? So this tells me you're a relatively junior person, because if you're asking the question, it's because you don't know and you've got modest leadership experience. On the application, it might be something like, acting lead for the development of such and such application. And you could do this on your resume in much the same way. Given that you may not have significant experience, be accurate about what it is you know and have done. When my manager's been out, I've been the lead individual covering for them, managing the team during the periods of time he's on vacation, she's away on trips, whatever it is. Be clear about what you've done so that this way you're not exaggerating it. If you're not comfortable, don't bother. It's really that simple. Don't bother putting it in if you're not comfortable being evaluated for a leadership role. I know there's a person I've worked with in the past who is that way and is bucking for a leadership position and doesn't present himself well enough to qualify. I've been working with him about how to express it accurately so that he's not exaggerating what he's capable of doing and can present himself effectively. Be accurate. Don't lie. Don't exaggerate. Don't, as my podcast says, no BS, okay? By the way, did you know I've got a podcast called No BS Job Search Advice Radio? For 3,000 episodes, it was my voice there. But now I'm producing the show. I've got 2 new voices, Ronnie and Bobby, and it's a twice weekly show. No BS Job Search Advice Radio is the OG of job search podcasts. As I've said, more than 3,000 episodes have been released to date with advice for job hunters good anywhere in the world. It is the #1 podcast in Apple Podcasts for job search. No show is even close to the number of episodes I've released. I think it's 3,060, 50, something like that. If I'm wrong, I apologize. I know it's more than 3,000 episodes because I recorded episode 3,000 at the beginning of July. I cut back the number of shows from 5 days a week, first from 7 days a week to 5 days a week. Now it's twice weekly on Mondays and Thursdays. I release new episodes. So again, that's No BS Job Search Advice Radio, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts, it's probably there. Okay. Let's continue on. Let me just see. There we go. Have you ever tried automating your applications, your job applications? How did it go? There was a product I used to recommend years ago that would spot a job description and submit a job for it. But I stopped recommending it because it became submitting the same resume over and over again. And especially now, it's important to tailor your resume. And I say especially now because firms are using data analytic techniques in order to see how closely your resume matches a job description. So if you send the generic resume over and over again, you'll get some interviews, but you may have heard the phrase, the broken watch is right twice a day. well, that's going to happen to you. You're going to miss out on opportunities you're qualified for because you're flipping the same resume to every single job and you're not customizing it for an individual role. So again, I just want to encourage you, don't use automated techniques. Use automation to make your resume a tighter fit for a role. So for example, you can use ChatGPT or one of the other models and say, hi, I am a fill in the blank. I'll use myself. I'm a career coach, and this is a copy of my resume. And I upload the resume without my contact information from the top. I want to submit my resume for this position and you upload the job description at such and such firm, and you give it the URL as well for that company. I'd like to get your opinion about how I should correct my resume to make it a tighter fit for that job. And the model will come back to you with recommendations of changes. I want to be clear. I'm not encouraging you to lie. I don't believe you should lie. Don't lie. All that's going to happen is you get an interview you're not qualified for. But using AI, you can make changes to your resume so that in this way, it demonstrates a tight fit for the role. Okay? I'm going to take one more question or deliver one more question before ending today's show. And there we go. Do some employers post ghost jobs simply as a way to extract free consulting or advice from unsuspecting job applicants or as a way to provide their own staff with free training in the hiring process? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. And many times when people have been given what I'll call a take-home project to do, it too closely resembles something they'd be asked to do at that firm. And I'll encourage them to respond by saying, this looks a lot like free consulting. I'm happy to answer your questions, but I'm not going to do a project on my own time, unpaid no less, as a condition of being considered. Now, it's a gutsy thing to do, but it's the right thing to do because you are being taken advantage of. They're getting free consulting from someone that they respect enough to ask to do this. They're getting free ideas from you. Don't do it. Really, don't do it. So if someone comes to you with a project that very closely resembles something that they've talked with you about in the way of what the job would require, the probability is this is something that they're considering doing. So the way to respond to it is, I'm happy to answer your questions. If you want to know how I'd approach this, I'm happy to go into it. But to do what looks like free consulting for you, that I'm not willing to do. That causes you to reject me. I respect that. And let's part as friends. And that's how you respond. So I hope you found today's show helpful. I'm Jeff Altman. Visit my website, jobsearch.community, before midnight on Friday. Become an insider there. And the way to do that is scroll down, click on the button that says Become an Insider, choose the Insider option. And from there, what you're able to do is enter coupon code Insider Free, all caps, all one word, Insider Free, before midnight, the 31st, February 1st of 2025, so that in this way, you become an insider and get access to all my content. Again, that's jobsearch.community. If you're interested in my coaching, I'd love to do that. Choose one of the other options. Pay for the service. And you'll also get access to my content. I'd be very happy to help you. I'll be back next week with more. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/thebiggamehunter. Have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great. Take care.